What up guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here today and I'm back with another video. Now today's video we're going to be talking about how strong are the Dragon Ball characters. Now I know I haven't uploaded a video in quite a while. I did mention in my YouTube short that I'm having some renovations happening in my house and I was hoping for it to be done last week, but apparently it was taking a little bit longer than that. So it should be done by Thursday of this week, hopefully. Most likely next week I'll be completely open and it should be all done and I can just get back to my regular schedule. But yeah, sorry for that. I have time. I'm trying to find some time to squeeze in to make these videos for you guys. I have found some time to make this video. I'll possibly be dropping another video later today, but that's not a definitive. So I might be, but I might not. So just wait to see for that. But before I get into this, I do want to give a big thank you to a couple of new subscribers of mine. First, X02 Overdose. Big thank you to X02 Overdose. Then Wasim Kahir. Big thank you to Wasim Kahir for subscribing to my channel. And Yannick Mosey. Sorry if I mispronounced any of you guys' names. I'm very bad with pronunciation. So thanks to Yannick Mosey. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I know I don't always mention all of them because I don't get a chance to see all of them. And I know from this past week or two, I have been getting quite a bit of new subscribers and stuff, and I got quite a bit of views, and I just didn't get a chance to make any videos. So thank you to you guys. Also, before I get into this video, I do want to talk about what I'm going to be doing with this video, the steps I'm going to be going through. One, I'm only going to be covering Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, not Super or GT. Two, I'm going to be sticking to the manga, so there's no argument about canon or non-canon. So strictly the manga from, like I said, Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. Also, I'm going to be using every feat that I, was able to get a screenshot of, because I needed some screenshots for this video. But I get it. I know some of you are going to say, well, isn't there some inconsistencies in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and then the writing and in the manga? And there is. And for this video, I'm just going to, for, just video sake, I'm just going to ignore that. I will make probably future videos talking about the inconsistencies, which one I thought was an inconsistency, which one didn't make sense. But for this video, just for, argument of sake, I'm just going to use every feat that I got a screenshot of. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, the first feat that we see Goku do in the entire series is him lift up a log the size of his torso. It was bigger than his body. He lifts it up, tosses it in the air, jumps up and kicks it and completely shatters it into multiple pieces of log. Now this is impressive because that log that he's lifting up right there should at least weigh around over 50 pounds, maybe 60, 70, maybe even 100 pounds. But he's able to casually lift this up, toss it in the air, and shatter into multiple different blocks of wood, which it normally takes an axe to chop a log with with an axe multiple times. And those are usually smaller logs, whereas this one is quite a big one. Later on after that, we see Bulma was hitting Goku with her car, which basically makes Goku think that it's a monster trying to attack him, so he lifts it up and throws it, showcasing his great strength. He's able to lift up a car which weigh around 1 ton or 2,000 pounds. Seeing as this is a smaller car, I'll put it at half of that, so around 1,000 pounds. And since Bulma's in there, at most she would be weighing around 100 pounds or at least over 100 pounds, so at least over 1,000 pounds, 1,100 pounds. So he's able to casually lift it up and toss it. And as he does this, Bulma pulls out a gun and shoots him in the face, which he tanks a couple of shots. Though he does get hurt from it, it seems more like a stinging feeling, like getting slapped, instead of it being a severe, pain, because he doesn't have any real bruising. And he also states his body is hard as steel, which makes sense because if you have thick enough sheet of steel, it will be able to, tank a bullet. Also, it does depend on the bullet from which gun is coming from. Different types of bullets have different type of amount of kinetic force and energy that it can transfer, and different types of guns can, shoot out the bullets at different levels of speed and power. So also that's important. But he gets shot in the face by a pistol and he's able to tank it, showcasing that he's bulletproof already in the beginning of Dragon Ball. And he didn't even know what a gun was, so he definitely didn't have his guard up either. Also later on after this, we see him lift up a giant boulder, once again bigger than his entire body, and crushing the boulder with his bare hands. He basically gives it a bear hug, crushing it in half, which is quite impressive because a boulder of that mass should weigh at least 10 tons or around 10 tons. So he's lifting up a boulder the size, a weight of like 10 tons or maybe even over that, and he's able to not only lift it but crush it in half. Then he lifts up Turtle, and Turtle should be around like 250 pounds, and he casually lifts him up too. Then he's getting attacked by a bear, and he takes it out with one punch. He punches it directly in the face, killing it, which is quite impressive because bears can take quite a bit of like shots from rifles and shotguns and other guns. Their hides are very, very tough, and they can take shots from even guns, yet he was able to kill with a single punch. Then after this, we have a scene with him and Bulma where he basically annoys Bulma. She pulls out a machine gun, shoots him in the back. Once again, he tanks it, showcasing that he's bulletproof and can even tank machine gun fire. Then after that, we go into this village. It's empty. He's trying to find if there's anybody there, so he punches a hole through a door, showcasing his strength right there. And as he does this, he's greeted with an axe to the head. One of the guys rushes, hits him in the head with an axe, which completely shatters the axe. Now this is quite impressive for a couple of reasons. One, he's able to shatter an axe head, which would be made out of steel, but also he was able to take the sharpness of it, swing it down at his head, and not seriously hurt him. He does have a bump on his head later on, which we do see in a couple of panels, like 2 or 3 panels, where the swelling goes down, but he showcases that he can tank, even an axe chopped on his head, which could be having a higher, more damaging than even a gun because of how sharp it is. After this, we see Oolong pretend to be a robot, challenging him, so he puts 3 bricks down, and Goku's able to destroy these 3 bricks easily with just a slap of a finger. After this, we have Goku's first fight against Yamcha. He uses Wolfang Fist, hits him so hard he sends him flying, smacking to giant stone pillars that he breaks through 3 or 4 of them, and it collapses on top of him. But he gets up out of it without any, serious visible damage. You might think he has some damage, but it was only because he was hungry, so that kind of like played into it. But he was able to take giant, boulders landing on top of him, dozens of tons of, weight on top of him, and he just stands up like it's nothing. Later on, we see Chichi getting attacked by a T-Rex. She takes the blade off of her helmet, throws it at it, decapitating it. Now, to decapitate a human's head takes quite a bit of force. It takes a strong person, even with something like an axe or something, But she was able to throw a blade and chop its head off, and it was a T-Rex, so it would have to go through even tougher skin, more meat, and denser bones. Yet she was able to casually do that. Then she fires a laser from her head, piece at Yamcha, and he dodges it. I'm not going to say this is him showcasing him having a light speed at dodging speed or whatever, because this laser could be just it's like in Iron Man. Iron Man has pulsar cannons, and those pulsar cannons might look like forms of light, but they don't move at the speed of light. So that could also be the case for this. Later on, we see Ox King throwing an axe into a stone wall, getting it stuck into there, which is quite impressive because if you see an axe throwing, they usually get stuck into wood, and that's already hard enough. So the fact that he's able to stick an axe through solid stone is quite even more impressive. Oh, I wanted to mention that some of these images that I have, I will be a little bit, because I'm using them to get the feats and stuff, so they are a little out of range, so I will be forgetting a little bit, some, but not most. Later on after that, we see Masteroshi coming in to try to take out the fire from Mount Frying Pan, so he can, save Ox King's castle. But by an accident, Masteroshi not only destroys Ox King Castle, but also the mountain that his castle was, on top of, which is quite impressive because the power that it takes to destroy a mountain would be equivalent, or at least around the amount of power it would take to destroy a city. Obviously, depending on the size of the mountain and the city. I did see somewhere, I don't know where, but they calculated and it said the amount of force it would take would be above that of a city level. So destroying a mountain would be above city level, once again, depending on the size of the mountain itself. It was a decently sized one, but it would still be nuke level, which is quite impressive, especially since he said he used a bit of his power. He said it got a little too carried away. After this, Goku sees his technique and is able to, mimic it, and he shoots a car with it, which we know that throughout the Dragon Ball universe, the Saiyans have this ability called mimicry. Now, this mimicry is basically them having the ability to copy any ability they see and do it themselves. And Master Roshi took 50 years to develop the Kamehameha, where Goku saw it once and was able to do it, though in an incomplete form. After this, his incomplete Kamehameha punches a hole through, very thick stone wall. Him and Yamcha weren't able to destroy it physically with their physical attacks, so his energy attack was strong enough to do it. So that would kind of give him a cap off in his physical strength department. But then later on, they do get captured by knockout gas, get put in a room with walls made out of 300 millimeter sheets, which is like around, I think, like 3 to 5 inches. I could be wrong, but his punches and his Kamehameha can't, destroy it. He can't get out of it. So that would be the limit to it. Then he jumps up, tries to, jump through the ceiling, but there's reinforced glass which he hits his head on, damaging himself due to it. So also, he's not physically strong enough to destroy reinforced, glass. Then after this, we have Goku Goes Ape, and he's able to break out of the room. So showcasing, well, if he used to go ape, which would mean with a 10 times multiplier, he would be able to destroy it and break out of it and destroy stone and that stuff. And he also lifts out a giant chunk of the building itself while and then tosses it, which should be well over dozens of tons. And we also see him tanking a missile, hitting him dead on and getting back up from it. After this, we move on to, a situation where Masteroshi is trying to train Goku and Krillin, and he has launched there, and she turns into her blonde self and fires a machine gun at all three of them, which they all three tank, though Goku seems to have less physical damage due to it. This could be due to him being a Saiyan and Saiyans being naturally more durable, so naturally he'd probably be more bulletproof than somebody like Masteroshi or Krillin. After this, Masteroshi tries to check how fast both Goku and Krillin are. Krillin comes in, I think, around like 10.5 seconds. Krillin states that he is as fast as an Olympic runner, or I think it was 11.5, but he says states he's fast as an Olympic runner, which would be putting him at Olympic running levels of speed, because the fastest speed I think was 10.54 or something like that. So it was like he did pretty close. So yeah, he would be Olympic level running, and then Goku does it in 8.5 seconds, which would make it up to like 27 to 28 miles per hour, which would be max for any humans. That would be peak human level of speed. Usain Bolt was able to run around almost 28 miles per hour, which is the cap off to max human, which is quite impressive because later on Master Roshi states that you guys are in peak human levels of speed and physicality, but you guys need to go to superhuman levels of speed and capabilities, which he does prove it himself, because he also runs and he's able to go past he's able to run 100 meters in 5.6 seconds, which would put him around like 40 miles per hour, which is definitely superhuman levels. So Goku and Krillin at this point, Goku is peak human, Krillin would be top level human, Olympic level, and Master Roshi will be superhuman when showing it. Also, while they're training under him, Master Roshi gives them a 44-pound, turtle shells to train under, and later 88 pounds. Then we go moving on later on. Goku's in bed with, Launch. She goes crazy and starts shooting him. He gets shot, tanks it, and then takes her out. So he once again showcasing his bulletproof durability. Then after this, Master Roshi states to them, both Goku and Krillin, that if they want to train under him, they have to push this boulder, which is around like twice the size of him, and he pushes it quite well, but Goku pushes it even further, at least like a couple of feet, which surprises Master Roshi. So he challenges them to push an even more bigger rock, an enormous rock, a rock that would be at least multiple times the size of Master Roshi, like a couple of times the size of him. So yeah, they have to push this. They failed their first attempt, but they do succeed with their second. Now I think somewhere I found around, somebody said that moving a boulder of that size would be around 400 tons or over 400 tons. So both Goku and Krillin were able to push over 400 tons a couple of inches. Once again, impressing Master Roshi. They also had race a T-Rex, which would be... calculations showcase that T-Rex's speed would be around like 17 miles per hour. And since these guys are well above that, it makes sense. Also, they outraced a shark in a lake, which I don't know how that makes sense to have a shark in a lake. But they outraced it, which would be moving at 35 knots, which is well above any human's speed when it comes to swimming. Both Goku and Krillin pushed the rock easily. After this, when they are done with 8 months of training, they feel like that they're ready. Master Roshi says, they do their training. He says, hey, jump in the air to see how much more powerful you guys got, because he said that you got a lot more powerful, but they just wouldn't believe it. So they jump up in the air. They jump up so high, in fact, that they go past Kamehouse's height, the tree's height, and they go completely up into the sky. So at least dozens to hundreds of feet in the air from just a single jump. So that's impressive. Later on, we see in the beginning of the 21st Budokai Tenkaichi tournament, Goku showcasing his newly found, power as he's fighting a 300-pound guy. He ends up behind him, taps him on the leg, and the guy gets knocked over, holding his leg in pain. And Goku realizes that they got so strong that even with a single tap of his finger, he's able to take out a full-grown man and easily hurt them. So he suggests to Krillin that, hey, we should hold back our power, because if we don't, we can seriously hurt somebody. And he realizes this. Krillin doesn't understand. He's like, I don't believe you. He does meet up with one of his former, temple guys that he dealt with, which he's bullying him. So Goku's like, you know what? Use your regular power. Which he does. He kicks him, sends him flying dozens of feet through the room, crashing through a wall, and then sending him even a dozen more feet, or I would say hundreds of feet out of the area, showcasing their strength when they're not holding back. But throughout the rest of the tournament, they do hold back and casually are able to punch and kick their opponents without severely hurting them or sending them flying. Then we have Masteroshi versus Yamcha. Yamcha tries to fight him. Masteroshi swings his hand. With the swing of his hand, he's able to shoot out such a powerful gust of wind that it sends him flying and knocks him out. Well, doesn't knock him out, but takes him out of the fight, which is quite impressive since Yamcha physicality would be superhuman level, and Masteroshi is able to easily take him out with just with a swipe of his hand. Later on, we see Nam acting up and acting very serious, and Masteroshi is wondering, why is he so serious? So he reads his mind to see what happens, which is quite an impressive, ability to have. But they gloss over it like it's nothing, and he even mentions to Nam that reading people's minds is child's play. So I guess mind reading in Dragon Ball is child's play. Well, at least to Masteroshi. Then we have Goku fighting this dragon guy. The dragon guy tricks him by saying, hey, look at my hand. Goku looks. He smacks him on the tail, sending him flying, smashing into a wall, which Goku gets back up without any visible damage, showcasing that his durability would be wall level at this point. Then we have Masteroshi versus Krillin with one of the most impressive speed feats we've seen in Dragon Ball. And what happens is both Krillin and Masteroshi charge at each other, and they move so fast that there was a blinding light that happened. And as this light shined out, what happened was, in a fraction of a second, these guys moved so fast, they did all these things, and the people around there, the audience, couldn't see it, and they had to basically explain what they did, throughout this, and they explained their process. He states that they first went in at each other. Masteroshi went in for a kick, Krillin ducked, went in for a punch. Masteroshi then stuck out his tongue to try to lick his hand, which disgusted him and pulled his hand back. Then he went to hit him, and then Krillin shot out snot from his nose, which he recoiled back. Then they both moved back and started thinking while this was happening. And Krillin states that this was around 0.2 seconds. So within 0.2 seconds, they did all that and thought, basically did all that and thought within the fraction of a second, literally 0.2 seconds, they were able to do all that, which is quite impressive. Then after this, they both come up with the idea. They both do rock, paper, scissors. Masteroshi, they do it a couple of times. Masteroshi wins, and then he said, he wins, but he tricks Krillin and says, hey, look over there. Krillin looks, and as he does this, he jumps up, kicking Krillin in the back of the head, sending him flying, and they both land while Krillin falls down on the ground. And this was within a fraction of a second. We don't know how long it took them. We do know prior to that, it took them 0.2 seconds to do everything else. So everything else after this probably be 0.3 more or 0.4. So still less than a second. So they did all that within that short amount of time. And that's quite impressive because, one, it showcases how fast their combat speed is. 2, it showcases how fast they're able to perceive information. 3, it showcases how fast they're able to process information because, both him and Masteroshi were able to think different strategies and they stopped for a brief moment and thought. Also, it showcases how fast they're able to talk because they did do rock, paper, scissors. After this, Krillin charges at Masteroshi, which he dodges and hits a giant stone pillar, destroying with his head, showcasing his strength right there. Then Masteroshi decides to end it, does an after image technique, ends up behind him and chops him in the neck, taking him out. Now, the speed that you would have to move at to create an after image technique and get out of the blind eye of somebody, the science is a little more complex. I think I found a calculation somewhere. I just forgot where. I will try to look for it and put it in the description down below. But if I cannot find it, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I would argue that to move so fast that you can leave an after image and leave somebody's blind spot, you would have to at least move at Mach 1 or faster than speed, at the speed of sound, or at least faster than the speed of sound. So I would consider this a Mach 1 speed level feat. After this, we have Goku versus Nam, where Nam jumps up hundreds of feet in the air, comes down, does an axe drop to his neck. He takes him out. He states that he should be out for 10 days, but Goku gets back up in 9 seconds, which is quite impressive because for, I guess, not an average person, because an average person would have probably died from that. A more, higher level martial artist would take 10 days, where Goku only took 9 seconds, showcasing the difference of power between Goku and even a top level martial artist. Then we see Nam jumping up back in the air, and then Goku jumps up following him. This is an impressive feat because Nam jumps up at least thousands of feet in the air. And the reason why I say this is he jumps up so high, he goes way past the trees, way past the buildings, and even the mountains, up into the clouds, which would definitely be like at least thousands of feet, like how high, an airplane would be. So he literally jumps up there and Goku matches him, showcasing their great leg strength. Later after this, Goku and Masteroshi both get into a Kamehameha blast clash, and they collide and they basically cancel each other out. Now, I'm not saying that Goku's Kamehameha is equivalent to Masteroshi's, because we do know that he is significantly more powerful than this, especially when in his buff form, but in a normal state, while holding back a suppressed one, they are pretty equal in terms of power. Also, this showcases at this point that Goku's Kamehameha is no longer just a cheap imitation, but he mastered it and perfected, the Kamehameha himself. And then we see later on Masteroshi moving so fast he ends up behind Goku, kicking him into a wall, and he gets back up. He does the after image technique, but multiple of them, which showcases Goku's great speed. Like I said, it would put him around Mach 1, so I'll put Goku at this point faster than the speed of sound. And quite a bit more than that, because he has made a little more than just one, after image technique. He ends up behind Masteroshi, gets the surprise on him, kicks him in the back of the head, sends him flying, crashing into stone. Once again, it's not only impressive that he can tank getting smashed into that, but also getting caught off guard because he got hit in the back of the head. After this, Masteroshi does the hypnosis move, taking Goku down, showcasing Masteroshi's another great ability for Masteroshi, where he has the ability to hypnotize people and make them fall asleep. Though this doesn't fully work, since Goku does get back up when Bulma mentions food. After this, we have Masteroshi firing electricity from his hands and electrocuting Goku, which is once again, another impressive feat or ability by Masteroshi. The ability to produce electricity from your hands. We don't know how much electrical current, wattage, any of that stuff or voltage that he's pumping into him, but it is enough to significantly hurt Goku. And he stated if he takes any more of it, he would die. He also states that his grandpa Gohan couldn't even take that much, though we don't know at what point he'd use this on his grandpa. After this, Goku turns into his ape form, rips off a giant chunk off the arena area, the castle area, and he throws it around, which should be dozens of tons, since it's stone and stuff. After that, Masteroshi realizes Goku transformed because of the moon, so to stop him, he destroys the moon. He blows up the moon. Now, this is an impressive feat for two reasons. One, blowing up the moon is quite an impressive feat. Two, the amount of speed that it took, because it took him around 1 or 2 panels to destroy it. And if you look through the anime, it took a couple of seconds, maybe 3-4 seconds. So pretty close to the speed of light, because it takes light 1.3 seconds to go from the Earth to the moon, and it took him a handful of seconds. We don't know how many, but a handful of seconds for it to go from the Earth to the moon. So it's very close to light speed, and he was able to destroy the moon. Which, if you were to let off all the nukes on the Earth onto the moon, we could not destroy it fully. We might be able to destroy the surface of the moon, but not the moon itself, which is quite impressive. I forgot. I think this would be around 200 quintillion tons of megatons of TNT that it would take to destroy the moon. And the Tsar Bomba, which was the biggest nuke ever, was calculated up to 50 megatons, which is significantly more. So yeah, he was able to destroy it. Though this is argued quite a lot as an inconsistency, and I'll possibly make a video about this in the future. Later on, we see Goku going into fighting the Red Ribbon Army. He ends up getting shot at by one of the guys, and he's able to dodge the bullets point blank. He gets shot at 3 times and is able to dodge it side to side, showcasing Goku's tremendous speed and his combat speed, being able to dodge bullets. Now, this is impressive. Like I stated before, him doing the after image would put him at, Mach 1 or the speed of sound, and I think he's faster than the speed of sound, and this definitely proves that these bullets, depending on which type of bullets, travel at faster than the speed of sound. Now, an average bullet would travel at 1,770 miles per hour or over that, which would be around Mach 2.3. And since he is casually dodging this, he would most likely be above that, so Mach 3. And I'm using this because Screwtack also stated this, that it would be 2.3, and to move faster than that would be 3. So Goku at this point would be 3 times the speed of sound, which is crazy. After this, he showcases another crazy, speed feat as he's charging into Muscle Tower. He's getting fired by three guards. They're firing at him with machine guns, and he's able to deflect the bullets with his power pole, which would put it well above, speed of sound, maybe 4 to 5 times the speed of sound. After this, he gets shot at by one of the soldiers inside the building. He shoots at him a couple of times, but Goku's able to dodge it using the afterimage technique and ends up behind him, taking him out. This is, once again, furthers my argument that to create an afterimage technique, you would have to move at least the speed of sound, and since, he dodged a bullet, they showcased that. Later on, he fights this robotic guy. I forgot what his name was. He tries to punch him, but Goku moves so fast, he's able to dodge it at the last second. Then after this, he grabs onto Goku and tries to crush him, but Goku's able to break out of his grip. Now, this is a machine, so it's a machine crushing him. So this would have, maybe his grip strength could be on the level of a hydraulic press, which can crush heavy metals. So the fact that Goku's able to break out, it showcases his great strength. Later on, Goku kicks him so hard, smashing him into the wall, showcasing his strength. He gets punched into the wall, but he's able to tank it. Then the robot fires a rocket out of his mouth. It explodes, but we see Goku not there. He's actually hiding behind a pipe. What happened is, as the moment he fired at him and it exploded, Goku was able to move so fast that he outran the explosion and ended up behind the pipe, which is quite an impressive feat. This would well put him over even, bullet level, dodging speed. The fact that you can move so fast that you can dodge an explosion of a rocket, and the rocket itself would be faster than that of bullets. I don't know how much. I would put it around 5 to 6 times the speed of sound, but it's still quite impressive nonetheless. We then move on to Goku blasting him with the Kamehameha, destroying it, but not fully. As he does this, Goku thinks he killed him, and he still thinks he's a human, so he starts praying. And as this happens, he fires a rocket punch, hitting him directly in the face, which definitely caught him off guard. So not only did he take a rocket punch to the face, getting hit by metal, and the size of the fist is almost as big as his entire body, and it being fired by a rocket, it would have quite a bit of kinetic force behind it, and especially since he was caught off guard, the fact that he was able to tank it is even more impressive. Later on after this, he fights a ninja guy. He throws a metal boomerang. It goes around Goku behind him. Goku thinks that he missed, but it's a boomerang, so it comes back, hits him in the back of the head, hurting him. Obviously, he takes some damage, but not enough to take him out, showcasing Goku's great durability even when his guard is down, being able to tank metal hitting him. Then he jumps over a pond, which should be at least hundreds of feet casually. Then he is fighting multiple of the ninjas. He's able to fight one of them, and one of the guys behind has a gun and starts shooting at him. While Goku's fighting the guy in the front, the guy shooting him in the back, and Goku's able to anticipate this and deflect the bullets from the back, showcasing his great, combat speed, his reflexes, but also, his awareness with where he is. Even though it was behind him, he was able to realize that he was going to get shot at. Then he jumps another hundreds of feet to cross over to catch the guy, and then he gets punched, sent flying across the room hundreds of feet, smashing into a wall. Then we see Goku jump through the ceiling of a floor to reach up to General White. He smashes right through it, showcasing his durability from his head, being able to tank even concrete, jumping through straight solid concrete. After this, he tries to pick up Ader with his power pole, but as his back is turned, he gets fired at by General White with a revolver, which he also states he let his guard down. But Goku tanks this without any serious damage, showcasing that Goku can tank a revolver bullet even with his guard down, which is impressive because, like I said, different guns have different levels of, destructive power or kinetic force that it can exert. And a revolver would have higher than a pistol, a regular pistol, and even a machine gun, depending on which. After this, Goku ends up, he takes a hostage. Goku's like, okay, it's fine. But then later on, he's like, okay, I won't. And he basically tells Goku this. He's like, hey, if you want him to be alive, you have to turn around and let me shoot you in the back of the head, which he does. And he also states that it's no a regular gun, it's a hyper gun, which I don't know what he means by that. For what I see is this would be a super powered gun or a super powered pistol, so it's not an ordinary gun. And he shoots Goku. This one actually does hurt him and takes him down, though Goku did do quite a bit of fighting throughout this point and was drained from, not eating and constantly fighting, but still, I would give it to him being taken out. At this point, I wouldn't think that he is more durable than that, but also his guard was down, so take that in consideration. After this, Ader gets mad, punches General White so hard that he sends him crashing through the building and sends him thousands of feet away, maybe even a couple of miles away, sending him, flying over the mountains, just showcasing his incredible strength. Then Goku gets into a little tournament thingy against this Bruce Lee fake guy. The guy showcases off his skill, so Goku shows off his, punches the wall behind him, destroying it with a single kick. Later on, we see him find the Red Ribbon Army again, taking out a helicopter with just the swing of his power pole. Then they bring some of their henchmen onto Masteroshi's island to shoot at him. Masteroshi is able to catch multiple bullets from a machine gun casually, putting his reflexes well above the speed of sound, many times that, which makes sense because at this point he was still more powerful than Goku. After this, we see Goku jumping hundreds of feet across this booby trap. Then he's fighting against this robot pirate thingy, which drags him under the water and electrocutes him, but he's able to tank it. Then he gets on top of a building hundreds of feet in the air, jumps all the way down, smashes through this metal beam head first, and is able to destroy it and doesn't take any damage from doing this. After this, we have General Blue's introduction and him fighting as Krillin. Krillin basically, he does a little bit well, but as soon as General Blue starts using his telekinesis, he's basically immobilizes Krillin, showcasing that not only does he have an impressive ability such as telekinesis, but he can also paralyze his opponents by just staring at them. And then he fights Goku. Goku showcases his overwhelming power, beats him, and then he uses his telekinesis on him. Even though Goku is stronger than him, his telekinesis still work on Goku and basically immobilize him, stopping him from moving. So yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, he stops him and he's gonna smash his head in with the rock while he's stopped. He hits him in the head, takes him down. Then he points a shotgun to his face, and Bulma says not even Goku can survive a shot at that range, basically meaning that this would be Goku's, his limit to his durability. Tanking a shotgun point blank to the face, he cannot do it at this point. But later on, we would see he can. Then he's able to propel a whole submarine by firing his Kamehameha, make him move at 100 miles per hour. Then we see General Blue coming back for his revenge on an airplane, jumping up thousands of feet from the air onto the ground, taking no damage from that fall. Then he basically has rope, uses telekinesis to bind them with it and stop them. And this is impressive for two reasons. One, he leaves the area and the binds are still happening, showcasing his power still work even when he's gone or from possibly a great distance away. And two, Masteroshi and Goku couldn't even break out of it, even though they should be stronger than him. His telekinesis was so strong that it made the rope strong enough to handle their strength and not break out of it. After this, Goku gets free and chases after him. He's in his jet, General Blue. Goku's right behind him, ends up behind the jet, and the jet fires his jet blast right at Goku point blank. Goku tanks it, though he does block, so it reduces a little bit of damage. This is impressive. One, he's able to take a jet engine firing off at him. The amount of force that it would take to tank that would be high, but also the heat. It would be hot enough to melt metal from the back of a jet. So at least over hundreds of degrees. After this, they end up on Penguin Village. He ends up crushing a phone booth by just bear hugging it, showcasing his his strength. Then we have Oppa. I think it was like Oppa's father. That's what the little Native American kid's name was. Basically, the Red Ribbon Army is there to look for Dragon Ball to take his. So one of the guys starts shooting at him, and he embraces his body and tanks the bullets and states firearms are useless, and he considers them like toys. Though his durability, this showcases that he's bulletproof, but he did have to embrace for it. So most likely, he still has like some bullet level durability naturally, but he would still take some damage. But if he embraces it, he will take little to no damage, and it won't have any effect on him. Later on, after this, we have General Blue coming back. We have Tao Pai Pai, or Mercenary Tao. He comes in, and basically General Red said, hey, if you want to keep your job, you're going to have to beat him. So he tries to fight him, and the coolest thing about this fight was Mercenary Tao just used his tongue and was able to kill him with his tongue. He basically was able to penetrate through his brain, through his skull, with just his tongue, showcasing that even somebody as strong as General Blue can be killed by Tao Pai Pai with just a little tap and just with his tongue, which is the craziest killing I've ever seen anyone do in any fiction. After this, they what's the name? General Red states that the Dragon Ball is 2,300 kilometers away, or around 1,492 miles, so or almost 1,500 miles away. And he says, I'll give you a jet. He says, no, I don't need that. He's like, just show me this pillar. He's like, what do you mean? He jumps up in the air, taps the top of the pillar. Sorry if you hear noise, it's people in the house. He taps the top of the pillar, comes back down, taps the bottom of it with his toe, and he breaks the pillar, showcasing his great strength. Like I said, he was able to destroy a giant stone pillar with just a tap of his finger and his toe, and then he lifts it up holding it. Now this stone pillar should weigh around like 2 to 3 tons, so you can casually hold up 2 to 3 tons like it's nothing. But it gets even more impressive. He uses this pillar as a transportation instead of a jet or whatever, and tosses it in the air. And he does state that it'll take him 30 minutes to come back. Now this is quite impressive for many reasons. One, he's able to destroy the stone pillar with just a tap of his finger and his toe, but he's able to hold also up this 2 to 3 ton stone pillar, and then chuck it at almost 1,500 miles away, and he states it will take him 30 minutes to come back. So if you look at the math, or if you do the math, it would mean that within less than 30 minutes. So I would say around it would take the stone pillar to go from there all the way to 1,500 miles away. It will take it around 14.30 seconds. The reason why I say this is he states it'll take him 30 minutes back. So 14.30 seconds for it to land there, then a minute for him to take out Goku, then another 14.30 seconds for him to come back. Now, the reason I put it at 14.30 is because it's most likely that he would take Goku out by within a minute. And that would be a fair estimate for him to make. So yeah, this stone pillar, he's able to throw a 2 to 3 ton stone pillar, almost 1,500 miles away, and it takes it only 14.30 minutes. 14 minutes and 30 seconds to land there and to throw it back. And he does this casually. Then after that, he jumps up and lands on it, which showcases his great jumping speed and his reflexes being able to catch up to it as he throws it, showcasing the tremendous speed of this pillar moving. Though this feat is quite impressive, but I don't know how to calculate it. I don't know how fast would that object be flying for him to throw it at that distance and take that much amount of time. Also, I heard people saying that when you throw something that heavy, the amount of force you would take to throw it that distance would be incredible. So he might have been able to lift up and hold a 2 to 3 ton stone pillar, but him throwing it would mean it would be well above that. So after this, we have Oppa's father trying to attack him with a spear. He catches the spear with 3 fingers. He's not even able to break out of it. He lifts him up, throws him in the air, and then throws the spear at him through his body, basically killing him, going through his body and killing him, which is crazy because one, we saw how strong he was, and he wasn't able to budge the spear out of his hand even an inch, and he was holding it with just 3 fingers. And we saw him tanking bullets, yet now a spear being thrown at him so fast that it was able to penetrate and kill him. Then we have Goku firing Kamehameha. He tanks it by blocking it. Then Oppa tries to get revenge for his dad, throwing a rock at him, but he just blows it back at him, knocking him out, which is impressive that he's able to. A rock being thrown, it doesn't take that much power to throw a rock fast. So the fact that he was able to blow it back with just his breath is crazy. Then we see Goku doing multiple afterimage techniques as he's training with Korin, and Korin's easily able to dodge it, showcasing Goku's increased speed and Korin just being well above that. But through this time, as he's doing it, Goku does end up catching up to him and ends up finishing it. And then after this, Mercenary Tao goes to get his clothes tailored. He gets it tailored. He asks the guy who does he want him to kill. He said nobody, so he takes his initiative to kill him by jabbing his finger through his skull, showcasing once again his incredible strength. He can casually kill people, even people that are above, superhuman levels, casually with just the tap of his fingers and stuff. Just crazy levels of power. After this, Goku comes back for the rematch. He fires a Dodan Pa against Goku, and Goku's able to catch it, though it sends him quite a bit feet back, but he's able to hold it. With the amount of force that it would take to push him back, or with the Dodan Pa, it would be insane. So this will showcase not only Goku's durability because he's able to hold it back, but two, his strength, being able to hold something moving that fast, pushing him back, though I don't have really any calculations for that. After this, we have Mercenary Tao just going off on Goku. He punches him in the head, knees him in the face, punches him in the stomach, starts doing a pressure point technique, lifts him up, kicks him in the air, then does an double axe hammer to him, sending him down to the ground, then falling down with a knee to his stomach. He did countless hard-hitting attacks. Remember, before this, Goku couldn't do anything, and after this training, Goku got so strong that he was able to tank all that, and he let him do it because he wanted to read his movement, and it didn't do any significant damage to Goku. He does have some visible damage, but not enough. Then he is taken out by a grenade that he tried to use on Goku, but Goku ends up kicking in the air, taking him out. We assumed for a while that he died, but we later on find out that no, he didn't die. He just, he got severely damaged from the grenade, and he got turned to a cyborg, but he didn't die, which is still quite impressive. The fact, it's not that impressive. This is where the little bit of inconsistency comes in, because you would think him tanking a Kamehameha would have more power than just a grenade, but apparently the grenade was enough to somewhat, kill him. After this, we have Goku busting in to, Red Ribbon HQ. As he's busting in, he's fighting against countless different, henchmen. He's taking multiple shots, taking out multiple guys. He jumps through a bottom floor, smashing his head through it, casually able to break through it. He runs into a building, and he is greeted with a rocket and a bullet to the face, which Goku tanks. And this is even more impressive since he is caught off guard. If you see in the manga when there's 2 exclamation marks or a question mark and an exclamation mark, that means they're caught off guard. So Goku, while he's caught off guard, takes a rocket blast to the face and takes no damage from it, showcasing that his durability has significantly increased since, earlier he almost died by a shotgun at point blank range. Now he's taking that. He also, as he's running through the Red Ribbon, hideout, he's dodging machine gun fire from heavy machine guns, which would have a fire rate that, move around 6,000 miles per hour, which is impressive that he's able to dodge it. He also tanks a sniper round to his head, caught off guard once again, showcasing its insane level of durability, tanking a sniper bullet. Sniper bullets have some of the highest, impact force out of any guns, and depending on which bullets they use, they can have, armor piercing rounds that can pierce, tanks and stuff. And since this is a highly advanced, military uniform, I would assume that they would have high weapon grade, bullets and guns and stuff. So I would put this at, armor piercing bullet, and Goku's able to tank it. Then later on, Goku fights General Black, who has a mech suit, punching him. Goku tanks it, though he is dazed. Then he fires an energy cannon from his wrist, a laser cannon, which Goku dodges last second. Then he grabs Goku, tossing him to the ground, hitting him down, and he is nearly unconscious. And then after this, General Black fires another laser at him, whereas Goku's on the ground, almost hitting him, but Goku moves the last second, dodging it and getting on top of the building itself. Now this is quite also controversial because by him dodging these, these are lasers, and for him to dodge lasers, he would have to move at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light. And this is where a lot of people say that Goku's faster than the speed of light in Dragon Ball. I'm not going to be talking about in this video. I'll make another video separate to that. But the kind of argument people say is he aim dodged, but for him to aim dodge, he would have to dodge before it was fired. But clearly that didn't happen. While he was down on the ground, you see already in the image that he shot the laser, and Goku's still on the ground, and only after once it hits the ground that Goku's gone. So Goku definitely dodged it with it being a couple of feet away from him. So that's incorrect. After this, he fires a rocket at Goku, which he anticipates and deflects it by kicking it. Rockets can go at 6,000 to 9,000 miles per hour, showcasing many times of the speed of sound at this point. His speed just keeps on climbing up. He at this point would be at I would say like low low hypersonic. He's able to do that, but also he's able to kick a rocket moving at that speed, showcasing his strength behind that. Later on, he gets into fortune teller Baba's tournament thing, and he fights this devil guy who fires this energy attack at him, which basically, if you have any evil in your heart, even the littlest amount, it will detect that, it'll expand it and make your heart explode and kill you. But it had no effect on Goku because he's pure of heart. So a technique like that will have no effect on him. Goku then later on gets into a fight with his grandpa Gohan, which he jumps in the air, flies at Goku. Goku stands his ground and tanks the kick from his grandpa, who kicks him super hard, and he doesn't even budge an inch. After this, Grandpa Gohan fires a Kamehameha, and Goku's able to casually dodge it. Then after this, the battle's over, and he reveals himself as Grandpa Gohan. He talks to Masteroshi, and he talks about the tail. He says, "Don't worry, I blew up the moon." So once again, confirming that Masteroshi did destroy the moon and is a moon buster at this point. Then he fights against, Pilaf's gang. They're in mech suits, and he's able to casually kick his suit easily without, taking anything. But he gets caught and gets a flamethrower on his backside, which it does hurt him. He is in excruciating pain, but he can tank. He can handle the heat of a flamethrower, which would be hundreds of degrees. Then after this, he revives Oppa's father, and the Dragon Balls are about to scatter. But before that happens, Goku already planned on how to stop it. So he was trying to look for his grandpa's one, and he was trying to anticipate it before it moved out. So as they made the wish, the Dragon Balls usually scatter across the globe, and this time, before it was able to fully, go out, Goku jumps in the air catching it, which is an incredible speed feat and, precision feat. And the reason why I say this is, for the Dragon Balls take only a couple seconds to cross around the globe, so many times the speed of sound, and Goku's able to intercept it and catch it. This might be a little bit of an inconsistency because the main focus was just him getting a Dragon Ball and not to focus on that. Later on, after that, we see another crazy speed feat by Goku as he comes to the 22nd Budokai Tenkaichi tournament, and he's kind of late. They say, "Why are you late?" And he says, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Don't tell me you swam." He's like, "Yeah, from a place called Yahoy. I think it was called Yahoy." And Bulma states, "Whoa, that's like on the opposite side of the Earth." Which, if you do look on a Dragon Ball map, where he is in the island for the tournament and where Yahoo is, technically would be literally on the other side of the world. So this is quite impressive, to be honest. The Earth itself is around, I think, I could be wrong, 10 or 12,000 miles per hour. I could be wrong on that. I'll probably put the information in the description down below if I remember that. But yeah. He's able to go this distance within a day, or less than a day, which is quite impressive to go almost around the entire world within less than a day just by running and swimming, showcasing Goku's great speed and stamina. After this, they get into the tournament. Krillin fights against this guy who's like he's at least 8 to 9 feet tall, grabs him by his fingers, able to toss him. This guy should be around 500 to 600 pounds, casually able to toss him around. Then Goku gets into a fight with a guy called King Champa or whatever, and Goku's in the air and he's falling down. And as he does, he exhales some wind, and they state it's like he let out an explosion from his mouth like a bomb to stop himself. So showcasing Goku's powerful strength from his own breath can be even just breathing, expelling out could be the level of a bomb, which is quite impressive. Then we have Goku versus Tien. He fires a Kamehameha. Tien grabs his hands, clasp it together, and deflects the Kamehameha back at Goku, which, oh no, it was not Goku, it was Yamcha. He deflects it back at Yamcha, where Yamcha has to dodge it, which is crazy because we see throughout this arc that Tien, that technique is so powerful that Goku's hesitant to use the Kamehameha whenever, because he knows if he does, he can just deflect it back, showcasing crazy power. Then we have Masteroshi against this wolf bear kind of guy. He tries to stab him. He grabs with his 2 fingers, lifts up this bear guy, throws him into the wall, and then flicks the blade back, sticking it into the wall, showcasing his great strength. Then he uses hypnosis again, using back of Krillin's head to turn this Wolfman back into a human since he destroyed the moon. So showcasing another side of his hypnosis and how powerful it is. Then we have Krillin versus Chaozu. Chaozu showcases his crazy telekinesis, where he basically sticks his hand out and he's able to stop Krillin and even crush Krillin's stomach and hurt his stomach at that point. The only reason Krillin was able to get the win was because he tricked him and basically made him do math, so he had to count since he didn't know. And as he was counting, he was able to get the drop on him. Later on, Goku fights this other guy who showcases his tremendous power by destroying the wall with a single elbow, which is really, really impressive because it's very crazy enough to see these guys destroy a wall with, an attack, but these guys are humans, and even if they're peak humans, in our world, no peak human could destroy a wall with an elbow. That is insane to see. That would be considered superhuman. And in most other fictional universes, even peak levels of humans, Batman or Captain America couldn't do that. That would take somebody who has superhuman levels of strength. Yet in Dragon Ball, to be considered just a good martial artist, you can even do that, showcasing his strength, and Goku's well above that. Later on, then after that, we have Goku fighting against him, and Goku basically takes him out with an elbow. Now, everybody thinks he took him out with a single elbow, but Tien, with his, crazy eyes, is able to notice that Goku didn't hit him once. He actually elbowed him 3 times in such a fast succession that it looked like he only elbowed him once, showcasing a tremendous amount of speed. Then Tien fights against Masteroshi. Masteroshi does multiple different afterimage techniques, showcasing his great, speed. Then Tien gets the drop on him, kneeing Masteroshi in the back of the head, catching him off guard. But Masteroshi is able to take this quite well. Then we have Tien firing an attack at Masteroshi, where Masteroshi basically blocks it with his bare hands and deflects it. So not only was Masteroshi able to block this energy attack, but he was also able to casually deflect it with his bare hands. It was Tien firing Kamehameha. Then after this, we have Krillin versus Goku. Krillin fires Kamehameha. Goku stops it with just his hand, sticking his hand out. But this was a ploy by Krillin to get the drop on him, which then he does, but Goku's like, okay, I'm going to go to overdrive. So Goku's holding back, and now he's not. He moves so fast that he's basically is gotten out of everybody's sight. He moves so fast that the audience isn't able to see him. Krillin's not able to see him. Masteroshi's not even able to see him. The only person who's able to see him is Tien because of his third eye, and he notices how fast he's going. The only thing that Krillin notices is the sound that he's leaving every time he's moving super fast. That's the only thing he's able to detect from Goku. Yeah, so it showcases his tremendous speed on how he's able to detect it. He mentions it himself, he's doing crazy footwork. Then he basically sends Krillin flying and takes him out of the fight. Now, what's the thing called? Everybody's surprised. They think that he just, pushed him out or whatever, but they don't know what happened. Tien basically states that he struck him with 8 blows in control and succession, knocked him out. He said he did, he basically took him out with 8 blows. He did a couple of karate chops and a couple of punches and sent him flying. Now, not only is this crazy amount of speed because he was able to move so fast that he couldn't see him, but he was able to land multiple strikes on him, but also knock him out of the, the ring and not severely hurt him. Because at that speed and his level of power, even one should have hurt him. So the fact he was able to hit him 8 times and take him out and not hurt him at all showcases Goku's great speed and control. Then after that, we have Tien using a Dodon Pa on Goku, hitting him, Goku tanking it, getting smashed to the ground and breaking out of it. Then we see Goku getting smacked into the wall, and then Tien doing a pressure point technique on him, but it does no effect. So yeah, pressure point techniques don't do really anything to Goku. And then Goku reveals at this point that he's been holding back his power level. He said that there's 2 levels he has: competition level of power and battle power. Now, competition power is his power in the competition, him holding back so he doesn't kill anybody just for a fight. But his battle power is him going completely all out where he could kill somebody. Luckily for him, Tien is significantly stronger than anybody else there. So Goku's able to do all this stuff by holding back, and now he showcases him not holding back and showing his killing intent. So he can really hold back his power very well. He sends him flying, moves so fast he ends up right underneath him. Then Tien does his solar flare, and he thinks he got Goku, but Goku moves so fast that he grabs Masteroshi's glasses and puts them on, basically protecting him, and he's able to get the drop on him, hitting Tien. Some people state once again that this would mean that he has fast and light reflexes because solar flare would produce light, which would mean if he was able to interact with it and prevent it, he would have to move fast to speed light. Once again, the counter argument to that is, well, he was he was aim dodging once again, but once again that is not the case because Tien only fired it after Goku only moved after he fired it. Then Goku tries to give him back his sunglasses, but Tien catches him off guard and flies in with a knee to his head into the wall, which hurts Goku a little, but he's able to get out of it. Then Goku goes back to fight, but Chaozu uses telekinesis to stop him, and so Tien could hurt him. Now, this showcases that even though Goku's significantly stronger than Chaozu, his telekinesis can still work on him too. So yeah, after this we see Tien grow out arms from his back, showcasing the great capabilities of Ki, that you can not only just make energy attacks, but even grow other extra limbs and do all this other stuff. And then we also see him creating multiple versions of himself. So you can use Ki to create extra limbs, but also split yourself up. Then after this, Tien is done. He's like, you know what? We're getting to the end. Let me end this fight. Let me fire my Tri-Beam at Goku. And Masteroshi even explains that the Tri-Beam's power is even more deadly and devastating than the Kamehameha. He states that the Tri-Beam's power is, the Kamehameha is dog piss compared to the to the Tri-Beam. Meaning the Tri-Beam is leagues above the Kamehameha due to the fact that he puts his own life energy into it, which amplifies the destructive power of it. Tien also warned Goku to not, tank the blast because it would kill him, and he didn't want to kill him. He just wanted to get rid of the ring, so he would just lose because he would have nowhere to stand on. And Goku says he's going to tank it, but at the last minute he realizes that he would be dead, so he dodges it, showcasing his tremendous speed. Even in the last second of the blast coming at him, he was able to dodge it and go up in the air. Now, Tien can fly, but Goku can't. He has to jump. So he jumps at least thousands of feet in the air once again to get up there. At this point, Goku is both Goku and Tien are very heavily drained. Tien states that he's so significantly drained, the only thing he can do is basically float in the air. And that's all he needs to do at this point because Goku can't fly. So he'll come down anyway. And once he touches the ground, he loses. So he stays in the air and that's all he has. But Goku does not allow this, so what he does is he fires a Kamehameha, sends himself flying, and hitting Tien, sending him falling down. And at this point, both Tien and him are completely drained of power. Even Tien can't fly anymore, he barely got consciousness, and Goku can barely fire a Kamehameha. Showcasing at this point, these guys are completely drained of their power, and as they're falling down, Goku fires a little bit of Kamehameha, like a small one, to decelerate his descent. But as this is happening, a car comes in the way, Goku hits a car and falls down, and Tien just hits the ground. Tien wins. But this is impressive because at this point, both Goku and Tien were completely drained of their energy. They had literally no power left. Yet Goku's able to take a survival fall from thousands of feet in the air, hitting a car and then hitting the ground and breaking the ground. And Tien was able to survive thousands of feet, falling from the air, hitting the ground directly, breaking the ground, which showcases their insane durability. Even completely depleted, they can tank this. Some people state that these characters are very vulnerable when their guard is down, but I'm pretty sure having your energy completely depleted is even more impressive and more you're more weakened state than having your guard down. And even in that weakened state, they're still able to handle something on that level. Later on after this, we get the start of the Demon King Piccolo arc. Krillin dies. Goku chases after one of Demon King Piccolo's henchmen. He smacks him, sends him flying all the way down, crashing to the ground. Goku at this point only got a brief moment to recover, so he only had a bit of his energy back. So this was a completely, depleted energy Goku, starving Goku, getting smacked down. He gets severely hurt, but he still does survive it. He eats later on Yajirobe's fish, regains the strength, and with his regained strength, he destroys a giant boulder with a single punch, punching it so hard, cracking it in the middle completely. After this, Yajirobe is completely pissed, so he picks up a giant boulder, tosses at it. Goku is like 2 or 3 times the size of Goku. Goku dodges it last second. This boulder should at least weigh 100 tons, at least 100 tons. A boulder of that mass and being thrown at that speed would have to be well over 100 tons. You would have to have well over 100 tons of strength to do that. So Yajirobe has quite a bit of strength here. Later after this, Goku and him get into a fight. Goku ends up kicking him so hard, he sends him flying, crashing into like the rocks behind, destroying on top of him, but he stands back up like it's nothing. Then they get interrupted by another henchman of Demon King Piccolo, who starts firing multiple electric blasts, and you see Yamcha casually dodging it easily and then taking out this creature with a single swipe of his sword. After this, we see Demon King Piccolo noticing this. He has a telepathic communication with his children, so he does have mental psychic powers, but also psychic powers where he can, even without even sensing, he can tell if his own offspring are dead. After this, Goku fights against the guy Drum who killed Krillin. He fires an energy blast from his mouth. Goku tanks it. He ends up behind him, moving so fast he dodges it, and then he fires another. He moves so fast he dodges it and ends up killing him. Then Goku ends up fighting against the old version of Demon King Piccolo. He gets hit dead on by an energy blast, but Goku is able to survive it. Later on after this, we see Demon King Piccolo, basically turning young and wreaking havoc on the city. With just a swipe of his hand, he's able to destroy the city. He completely erased the city. So he's able to easily, casually destroy a city with just a swipe of his hand. Then we have Goku coming back from, getting an amp through the miracle water, fighting against him, picking him up and throwing him through a building, smashing him through a building, showcasing his strength. Then we see Demon King Piccolo doing the same thing that Masteroshi did to Yamcha, with swiping his hand, shooting out so much energy and wind that it sends Goku back and destroys the land around it. Showcasing Goku has great strength because he's able to withstand that power, and Demon King Piccolo is the power too. After this, both him and Goku get back into the fight again. Goku gets punched so hard he gets smashed to the ground, leaving a little bit of a crater, but he's able to handle this. He also fires, an energy blast trying to destroy him, but he I think dodges it. After this, Goku fires Kamehameha, does a warp Kamehameha, basically turning back and hitting him in the back of the head. This is impressive for 2 reasons. Now, sorry for that somebody came into the room, so I had to do something. But yeah, I'm back. Basically, what I'm trying to talk about is this is impressive for 2 reasons. One, it showcases more versatility to Goku's Kamehameha, because not only does it go just in a straight direction, but he can also control it and move it around. Also, it's impressive because Demon King Piccolo is able to tank a Kamehameha, hitting him in the back of the head, and while he, caught off guard, because he was expecting to be in front of him, he even puts his hands out in the front, but it ends up hitting him in the back of the head, and he takes it. Then we see him firing an energy blast so powerful that it destroys the city, another city level nuking level explosion. And it's even more impressive when you see it out in the distance, going past even the mountains. So this should be well above, city level. As this happens, he takes Tien, as prisoner, and he's threatening to kill him. Goku knows that he's not gonna abide by the rules, but he still goes with it anyway. So to hurt Goku, he picks up a rock, blows it at him, blows it so fast that it hits his, arm and his knee, arm and his leg, completely shattering it. It completely, the rock shatters and it breaks his bone and bruises him up and he starts bloody. Now, it doesn't really make too much sense that a rock being blown at him would hurt him that much. I mean, he's tanked bullets that would have more impact force than that. Even if he's blowing it super hard, I don't know how hard he could blow it without it completely shattering or whatever. But like I said, I'm going to be ignoring the inconsistencies, and I will make a video about it in the future. After this, Goku basically ends up killing him by punching a hole through him. And then he ends up on, the lookout to train under Popo. Now, as he's training under Popo, he starts running around and he notices that he's kind of getting tired. And Popo states to him that since he's so high up, the altitude's so high up, he has more trouble like breathing, so he can't waste his movements. Showcasing, Goku adapting and getting stronger to higher altitudes and having less oxygen. And then he starts fighting Popo, where Popo showcases a crazy ability of his, where he's able to detect anything Goku's doing. He can detect what attacks he's about to do, what he's about to do there. He states he turns his back against Goku and states, you're gonna be poking your nose, you're touching your face and stuff like that. And he's like, whoa, how did you know? He said he can sense his energy. Now, the way he does it is he can feel the air currents and the vibrations throughout the air itself. Goku also explains this later on against Yakan and Buu Saga, but he can feel the air currents, and doing that he can sense his energy, and not only sense his energy, but tell what he's going to do even without looking at him, which Goku later on obviously picks this up. Later on, as this happens, he goes to show him Kami, which Goku sees Kami and thinks he's Piccolo, so he jumps in to try attacking, but he knocks Goku back with just a flick. And this is crazy because, Demon King Piccolo is shown to be so powerful, but yet we have Popo here who is shown to be more powerful than him, and then his other counterpart, his other half, Kami, who is even more powerful than him. And Goku was able to beat that guy, and he's so powerful that just with a flick of his finger took him, was able to knock him back. Meaning that he could casually kill, his evil half. And he one-shot Goku with the finger. So Goku would have to get so significantly powerful from this point to the next that he would have to. So yeah, sorry for that once again interruption. But this showcases that he would have to get so significantly more powerful to the point that, remember, he beat Demon King Piccolo and he got taken out by a single flick. That means Goku would have to go past the point of the flick that he took by Kami, and even past Kami's power, which is insane, astronomical jumps in power. But he does have 3 years to train to do that. After this, we have the 23rd Budokai Tenkaichi tournament, or also known as the Piccolo Junior arc. And as this happens, we have Mercenary Tao back in his cybernetic form, and he tries to take out Tien by slashing him, and he basically cuts him. Now, is this an inconsistency in durability because of what we've seen, a blade cutting him and being able to hurt him? Or is this the fact that, he's a master martial artist and he can transfer his energy to his blade? We don't know which, but he is able to cut Tien. Then he fires a Super Dodon cannon at him, and Tien just stands there and is able to destroy, deflect the energy back by doing a ki, which is basically shout, letting out the invisible ki energy in them. So yeah, just a ki was able to destroy it. Later on, we have Goku versus Chichi. Chichi is trying to, get Goku to marry her. She's doing all this stuff, and Goku just wants to end this fight. So he cocks his fist back, punches the air, and punches her so hard that the air he sends out sends her flying, knocking her back and taking her out of the fight, basically giving it to him. After this, we have, I didn't mention this character because I wanted to talk about it now. We have this character named Shin. He took out Yajirobe earlier on, and he went quite far. At first, he looked like a goofy character that didn't have much power, but once when he got into fight with, Yamcha, we started to realize that he is significantly more powerful than what we thought. He's able to he's able to hurt Yamcha, but also he tanks one of his spirit balls straight through the face. He hits him right in the face, and he tanks it. And it get revealed later on that it was Kami possessing the body of a regular human. And this is impressive because not only can Kami have the ability to possess people, but two, with him just transferring his soul to another body, even a body that's regular human level or below human level, a regular human level, he got so significantly powerful, he's able to handle a superpowered being like Yamcha, which showcases to me that, it isn't just about physicality. If you transfer your soul, you can do that. Same thing with happened with Zamasu when he took over Goku's body and became Goku Black. Of like I stated in my other video where I was explaining ki and how their power works, I explained that it goes by physical power, mental power and spiritual power, and he showed right there with just spiritual power alone he could amplify the physicality of a being that is not anywhere near that power. Then after this we have we have a couple of fights. We have Goku against Tien. There's nothing of noteworth there though. Krillin's fight, also nothing of noteworth against Piccolo. So we're going to get to Goku versus Piccolo. As he fights Piccolo, Piccolo fires an energy attack at Goku point blank. Goku tanks it, and he falls down to the ground, and he fires multiple energy attacks, which Goku also tanks and was messing around. He allowed him to get hit by an energy attack and multiple of them, and it didn't do any damage to him. Then, as he's fighting against Piccolo again, he and Piccolo are clamping their hands together, and Piccolo fires lasers from his eyes point blank, but Goku's able to dodge it by ducking his head. Now this is impressive because to dodge an energy attack, and especially an energy attack at that range, at that quick, he would have to have insanely fast reflex. So the fact that he was able to dodge it at that time is crazy. After this, we see him getting the drop on Goku, elbowing him through a stone wall, but as he looks to see if Goku's there, Goku ends up behind him. Goku basically tanks it, but also moves so fast that he ends up behind him without even him realizing what happened. After this, we have, what's the thing called? Goku firing his Super Kamehameha, which is the perfected form of the original Kamehameha, and even more powerful. It was stated in the guidebooks to be, moon level and even above that. So the Super Kamehameha is, quite a powerful Kamehameha. So you have the regular one, and then you have the Super Kamehameha, which should be an amplified version of it. But Piccolo's able to tank it by just blocking. After that, Piccolo grows in size, showcasing the capability of, growing. And he grows so big that Goku's now only the size of his foot. He is bigger than the arena. He's big as like a small building, and Goku's the size of his foot. He should be at least, I would say like 50 feet, 60 feet, around there. I don't know exact measurements and calculations for that, but he's definitely bigger than that. And as Goku's fighting, moving around, he smacks Goku, but Goku's able to tank it. After this, Goku knees him, kicking him in the back of the knee, taking him down, even though he is much larger. Then grabs Piccolo by his finger, lifts him up, and slams him onto the ground, which is impressive because, like I said, Piccolo at this point, his foot is bigger than Goku, even his hand's bigger than Goku. Goku's entire body is wrapped around just a finger alone, yet he's able to easily pick up Piccolo and slam him to the ground. Now, we don't know how heavy Piccolo should be in this, but we do know the square law that everything that grows, the more exponential the growth goes, 3 times the weight goes up. So Piccolo at this point, with the height he has, should be significantly more heavier, at least in the tons of range, tens of tons of range. So Goku's able, or maybe a couple of tons, maybe not even tens of tons, but still, Goku's able to lift up a being that's, a couple of tons, lift him up and casually throw him down on the floor. Then after that, Goku goads Piccolo to get bigger, which he does. He gets so big that he turns 200 feet. He literally can grow even to 200 feet, which is bigger. He looked bigger than a whale. I mean, he was so big, Goku's only the size of his fingernail. After this, Goku basically bait him, got him out of there, and then he gets hit later on in the fight. Goku gets hit and caught off guard by one of Piccolo's attacks, where he fires electricity from his antennas. At this point, Piccolo does one of the most impressive destructive feats in Dragon Ball. Not the most, but one of the. And as he does this, what he does is he gathers the energy in his body, and then he holds it in, and then he lets it out in a massive explosion where Goku's just standing right in front of him with his arms crossed, trying to bear the attack. Now, this attack is so impressive to the fact that the amount of sheer power that he releases is so significant. It creates tsunami waves, hundreds of feet in the air, blows apart complete buildings, trees, mountains, and you can see a giant explosion coming out from the entire island all the way up into the sky. This explosion is so big, he basically turns the entire island into a desert. He obliterates all the mountains, all the trees, all the buildings, sends all the waters crashing, creating giant tsunamis. He destroys that all and turns it into a flat land of just sand, showcasing that this is, an island level feat. So well above, a city and nuke level destructive feat. But it's even more impressive that not only can he do that, release that much amount of energy, but also 2 things, for Goku at least. 1, Goku was able to tank the destructive energy. 2, Goku's able to stand his ground and hold back the push, showcasing his his strength, because the amount of force that it would take to destroy an entire island would have an insane amount of pushing force. I don't know what to call it, psi, I guess. It would have an insane amount, yet Goku's able to handle it, like beyond Nuke's level, and Goku's able to handle it not only through durability but through his strength, because he didn't even move an inch. After this, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin said, "Screw it, let's jump into it and help him out and stop him if he sees too much of a threat." And then they do. He swipes his hand, creates a giant destruction in the ground, makes a huge ass hole there. He makes a big destruction and a huge hole that stops them and prevents them from jumping into, like, okay, he's too dangerous, we can't do it. And they basically state it's bottomless. Now, after that, there hasn't been, after we see that, they don't show any other feats that are quite impressive throughout the rest of the arc. It's just that, and then it basically ends, and then it starts the next portion of Dragon Ball, where it's Dragon Ball Z portion. Now, this is where I'm going to end this video off, because I was hoping to do both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but doing this video as I was doing it, I started to realize more and more that this video is getting quite long. I think this is going to be my longest video, well over like an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know for a fact. I'll see once when I do the editing. Also, it's going to take quite a bit of time to edit this one. So I feel like the best thing for me to do is just cap this one off here for you guys. I will be covering the next part of it, the Z portion, tomorrow, hopefully, if I have any time. So I'll try to do the next part tomorrow. I won't be uploading any other videos. I don't have any time. Sorry for that. It's kind of late here right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. This one is just going to be part 1 of how strong are the Dragon Ball characters, focusing on the Dragon Ball portion of the manga. And in part 2, I'm going to be focusing on the Dragon Ball Z portion, and should be either as long as this video, or even longer. But yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed. It took me some time to do this. I had to find a good website for the manga. I had to take quite a bit of screenshots, then I had to do some editing on the imagery and stuff, and then I had to think of a plan for doing this, and then all this stuff happened. I didn't have any time to do it, and I know I rambled on quite a bit, but I just had to get out all the information. I feel like this is important to have a video with all the feats throughout Dragon Ball, where you guys can just look and say, oh, okay, this is what happened, that's what happened, this is how powerful these characters are. I will also give a final synopsis. I'll probably make another video later on, after I finish the Z portion, where I'm going to give a final synopsis of their powers, speed, strength, and durability throughout Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z by using the best feats that I was able to get from this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I haven't been uploading. I will be going back to my regular schedule next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I put quite a bit of time and effort into it, and I'll try to, the next one should be even better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.